the projects, and I don't think I've ever lived in the projects before, but I will tell you I've lived on the west side of Chicago in a studio, and it wasn't the best part of town. And I remember being frustrated because I was pregnant, ostracized from my family, and it was rough. We were in a studio, and I was working on and off, but for the most part, I don't see how girls do it or women do it, working while they're pregnant. My hat goes off to any woman that works while they're pregnant, that does anything while they're pregnant, because I was over it. I was sick all the time. I was just crying all the time. Like, I was everywhere. But anyways, I just remember every night, like, we had $400 rent in a studio, bed on the floor, and when it came time to me having my son, we were still there, and we didn't have food. We didn't have food. Food stamps had ran out. Like, it just wasn't working for us. And I remember applying for TANF and still us not being able to make the rent. $400. Like, the times was hard. Every night we had to get on the ground because we knew that they was going to be shooting. We knew that they was going to be shooting. We knew that it was going to be somebody fighting around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. That's what we had to do. Even though we was already on the ground, we knew that we had to get on the floor because they would be shooting. And I'm just here to say and inspire anybody who is currently living in a project, it's only temporary. And it's all about your mindset. I'm not going to say everybody because that's a bit much. I can't make that assumption about everybody in their life. But a lot of people go through hard times in life. And your mind and what you believe and your ideas and what you think you are, where you think you're going to be is where you're going to be. I just remember imagining, like, yeah, one day I'm not going to have to live like this. One day this is just going to be something I look back and I laugh on. And I don't look back and I laugh on it. Like, I look back and I'm thankful for it. I'm humbled for it, because it's like humble beginnings for real. Like, I was raised in the suburbs. Like, my mom raised us and we was privileged kids. We didn't believe in locking the door before we had to go to sleep. Like, we didn't believe in locking no doors. Sometimes we would leave the door open. No locking car doors at night. Like, we was very privileged kids. So I chose when I became an adult to go to a different part of town, the west side of Chicago, Madison and Kedzie. If you know, you know, if you're from Chicago. But I adapted. I adapted because I had to. I did what I had to do. But it taught me, it humbled me. It taught me how to make it on my own. I didn't know how to make it on my own. And that's what a lot of these kids out here now do. Like, a lot of kids are privileged, and that's our job as parents, to give our kids what we didn't have, to show them a way that we didn't have to struggle. But a lot of times it enables them. And then when life happens to them, they shocked. They don't know what real hunger is. And while that's good, sometimes it's good to show them where they come from. Let them remember, you know, you ain't above ever having to go back. You ain't above ever not having to live in the projects. You're not above sleeping on the floor, getting down on the floor. Still instill in your kids how to adapt in any situation, because you don't know what life has to bring anybody. Everything is uncertain. And while you can save, it's great to save for a rainy day, because you just don't know what can or not happen. But just always remember that nothing in life is certain. Things can happen anytime. And that's kind of like why I do enjoy my job, even though it has its cons and its days that are stressful and all of that. And I have emotional fatigue. But the passion is still there. It's still in my heart. I was there. I was sleeping on the floor. I didn't have food and I didn't know what to do. Like, we had relatives coming over to the house saying, yeah, don't eat the baby lunch. Don't eat the baby snacks. And we didn't have food. So I'm just saying to say I understand. Sorry, y'all. I'm at Walmart, but what I was saying was, because I need to give me some more lashes. Don't judge me, because these is on this last leg in. But all I'm saying is, times like that gives you resilience. It shows you, you know, that if you persevere and if you keep trying and if you don't give up on yourself, you can live wherever you want to live. You can do whatever you want to do. There's always going to be a con to wherever you live. You're always going to have, nothing is going to be perfect, but you got to make the best out of every situation. And I love seeing the underdog win. I love seeing a success story. And I feel like that's why when you're looking at like the tours for the projects live and everything, that's a trend right now because everybody wants to see them win. And I love that, like, because it just takes me back to having to live like that. And I just want to remind people, like, don't ever forget where you come from. Don't ever forget and know that anybody could be in that situation. Anybody could be homeless. Like, nobody is safe unless you do have a savings fund. Like, financial literacy wasn't taught to a lot of us. We just had to figure it out as we went. And that's why I'm saying, if you got kids, teach them how to pay a bill. Teach them the process of how to run a household. Teach them how to do a budget. Because if you don't teach them, they're not going to know. So, yeah, I'm about to go in Walmart. But I just have to tell y'all that because it's just not where it's at. It's not where it's at. Like, y'all not going to flourish if you don't think it in your mind first. Manifest. Know that you got to keep striving. Make it as if you don't have a choice. This is what you got to do. This is only temporary. You know?